We'll recap what happens, and then we want to talk about kind of what's about to happen in the art world.
Especially here in Bratislava.
Especially
right?
here in Bratislava.
Yeah, I know that many people in the scene are, criticizing that art is getting more and more of a spectacle the last couple of years.
Edvard Munch was for the first time exhibited here in Bratislava in this gallery.
First time ever in Slovakia.
Here we go. Art Seen Unseen podcast, season 2. Wow, it feels like it's been ages since we've been sitting here talking. We kicked off the first season not knowing what we were doing, not knowing where we were going. We didn't even know what the name was.
Exactly.
We were here as well.
Yes.
In this space, a little bit different setup as you do, because you have about 10 exhibitions in a year, or 8 to 10?
5 to 6 in that
this
space,
yeah.
But of course 10 counting museum shows and some off projects. It might be 10 to 12 per year. So yeah.
So it's great to be back. My name is Gabriel Brockman. This is my good friend Patrik Steinhauser, and we are in Steinhauser Gallery at the moment. There's a great exhibition going on. You can see some of the things going on behind us here. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about what happened since the last time we wrapped season 1, because man, it's been a month. There's been Freeze, there's been
Art Cologne, Madrid,
everything. So crazy stuff. So
yes.
A lot of stuff. We'll recap what happens, and then we want to talk about kind of what's about to happen
exactly
in the art world.
Especially here in Bratislava.
Especially
right?
here in Bratislava. Yeah. There's a really,
There's something going on.
Little hint. There's something special happening in Bratislava this year. And a lot of things happening around the world, and of course reactions to political climate. So we'll touch on that as well, I think, in this episode. So
right on.
It's quite a lot to get through. So first of all, Patrik, how have you been? What's been your highlights since we wrapped season 1 into season 2?
I mean, they've been many, of course. As you said correctly, we ended last year, 2025, with in total 11 shows.
That's a lot.
Which was way too much, but all of them went very well, especially the museum appearances in Prague and Budapest were awesome, and we learned a lot.
There was one at Kampa
with Thilo Baumgartel and Michal Milunovic. There was another show in Hub, Hungarian Art and Business, which is a group exhibition.
Also top notch.
Yes, curated by me and Sofia Mate from Ludwig Museum. That was planned for 1.5 years already with them. But this was a very, very good project and very successful as well.
There was like Genevieve Capitiano was there.
Oh, there were like 12 artists, international artists in total.
Stiepel, of course. One of our favorites.
Leopold Rabu, and there were some really amazing artists from Hungary as well.
There was even a poet involved in the event.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was like a very kind of what you would expect to see from like an art week, all kinds of stuff rolled into one, and they have a really nice space
yes.
Hub, HAB. It's
Hungarian Art and Business, and it's on the Andrassy út, which is the main, like one of the main streets in Budapest, and it's a villa, like 4 floors. Very nicely renovated, so perfect.
There was a video in the basement or on the ground floor, which was really kind of
by Chino Moya.
Chino.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. You're much better with names than I am.
But
I'm all about the experience in the thing.
Great.
It's like I don't remember who it was or what, but I remember that video, and it was very surreal, and it was very kind of on point. Because he was using some AI to kind of illustrate how AI was inundating our society. Whew, that's a huge topic. I think we should talk about AI, but not in this episode.
We will do.
We'll find a digital space. Maybe we can find somebody who's curating digital art, and we can be in that space.
Definitely.
That'd be super cool.
But about your question, what happened? I mean, a lot happened. You've been visiting the Frieze in London,
Frieze
right?
Was amazing.
How was it?
Frieze and off Frieze. My favorite part was the Mandrake Hotel. Every year for London Frieze they basically rent out their rooms. I don't think they rent them out. I think they allow the galleries to just apply, or they maybe have some scholarships, but 70 rooms for galleries, and the galleries just basically set up, and they run out of wall space. It's just these tiny little, not tiny, but they're London
yes.
hotel rooms, so they're not huge.
Cool.
And then so they've got paintings hanging in the showers and on the sink in the bathroom and over the beds, and some of them take the beds out, and it's very fresh.
Yeah. Warsaw has this in Warszawa hotel once a year. I think also during some sort of a gallery weekend, sort of festival thing. I've never been there, but I know it's getting bigger and bigger. And Poland has a pretty much rising contemporary art scene. I would say, which we are not so much aware of, unfortunately. We need to invite somebody from Poland to our podcast to tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean. Maybe we can even get up there.
We should.
I think there's some really awesome stuff going on in Poland.
Yeah. But what about your feelings with the Frieze itself as an art fair? Like, how did you see it? I mean, there was a lot of impressions, a lot of blue chip art, most probably big galleries exhibiting. What was your opinion?
I think the Frieze proper was this opportunity to just go in and really just put your finger on the pulse of what's happening, and listening to people talk. London kind of used to be this epicenter, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm just preparing for Paris this year," So everybody was looking at Paris while in the middle of this show,
which was just a few weeks after.
And for me, it was this dissonance that. I feel like there's this helter-skelter, this rush to find the next big, best thing, or the biggest event and focus on that when there's so much space. And I think this is kind of why we exist, is we like to take that time and to visit those spaces that aren't those big, huge, epic events. And you can really find some amazing moments, you can just sit with something, you can sit in this space, and already this space feels different from the last time we shot.
Is it for you?
The marble's here,
of course.
Marble has this energy, and we're in a different day and a different time and a different space, and art is always that subjective, you know?
Yeah, that's Martin Piaczek, a Slovak artist born in 1972, and
he's a teacher at the
as well.
Academy
he's
of
a
Fine
professor.
Arts.
Yes, and
design here.
We have him together, showing him together with Vasilis Aframidis, who is from Thessaloniki, oil painting. So it's a duo show, it's a dialogue. But what you say exactly, I mean, it takes time to handcraft such a sculpture, or even bigger ones that he does. It takes sometimes 2-3 years to finish such a sculpture. So it's like a process where you leave your own skin, where you leave your blood, your sweat, and everything. And I like that.
Sometimes I feel it's a shame that all this blood, sweat, tears, effort, time goes into these pieces, and then it becomes about the spectacle. Not about the piece, but about the event and the spectacle.
That's what I wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to ask you in terms of Frieze. So how would you say the ratio between, okay, that's a spectacle, that's a show, that's show off even, from people, from galleries, from artists, versus, okay, something intimate, an intimate, introspective, and even frequency that you feel from several pieces, where you have to stay there, take your time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, however. So how much of a rush was it, versus how much possibility and space did you have as a viewer to go there and to take your time out and be somehow reflective with the art, which is probably not very common for art fairs, but still, I know that many people are in the scene are, criticizing that it's getting more and more, art is getting more and more of a spectacle the last couple of years, which, I mean, you can see neutral, you can see pros and cons, but what's your opinion about that in terms of Frieze in London, which is one of the biggest fairs worldwide?
I mean, there's this FOMO, this fear of missing out, that you need to see everything that's there. And I think if you fall into that trap, it becomes very chaotic, very difficult. And I think you lose something. But I think it's also okay, and I'm very good at this. If I see something that I want to spend some time with, it really doesn't matter what else is going on. If I have dinner in, half hour or whatever, I'll be like, okay, I'll call and move the reservation, like, or I'll just be late, you know, because I need to spend some time with this. And that's okay. And that's really good. It's something that I would recommend anyone to do for themselves, is when you need the space and the time, that your body generally tells you this. You know, it gives you an indication, it gives you a moment, it makes your heart, you know, do something. And to listen to yourself, you know, to go into these spaces, not with an agenda to see everything that there is to see. And maybe you can do that, maybe you can do a run through. Yeah. And then just sit with it for a second and let yourself be drawn, you know, where you need to go. And let yourself find that journey.
Yeah, good point, to be drawn. I visited just a few weeks later, last November, Art Cologne. But I did it not from a point of view as a collector, more of a point of view as a gallerist. So I needed to see everything.
Job,
It's my job, and I wanted to see everything, and I had to go. It's 2 floors actually. It's a double floor. It's pretty huge and pretty big exhibition. Very well organized. Really, really good. A high quality art, which goes from contemporary even to modern and mixed. So there is even galleries that, you know, they show, I don't know, secondary market Christo or Warhols besides, I don't know, Marlene Dumas or something like that, you know. So very interesting. But what you said, I had to circle 3 times downstairs, 3 times upstairs. So just I was there.
Soak it in.
Exactly. I was there the whole day. Got a very good impression. Something stayed with me. But I was, you know, my wish was to come again and take even more time and see the things, you know, how they are.
The goal of a gallerist is a bit different than the goal of a collector. The collector is looking for inspiration to inspire their personal collection, whereas a gallerist is not just responsible for the collection and the pieces that they're offering, but also kind of setting the course of the dialogue between the curator, the artist, and the collector. And so you kind of have to take this step back, almost. Not. I mean, of course, your personal preferences are going to influence. But and I think we see that in Steinhauser. Steinhauser always has this, I would say, level of craftsmanship in the work, which is something that I appreciate, and I think this is kind of why we connect so well. Is this idea that it has to take some skill, some effort that has to have been developed in order to create these arts, even if they might look like pure chaotic, splashing stuff on a canvas mess at first. When you understand the process, for example, Hossa, it looks very gestural, it's very fast, very frenetic, and he's finished with those paintings, like from picking up the pigment, putting it on the canvas, he's finished very quickly. But the preparation build up to that is it's crazy cool. Yeah, he spends time. He has pictures like all arranged around him, and he kind of steps through them in this almost dance.
He tries to process the flow of the figure or of the object, the lighting, and then of course the task is to have several brush strokes. Expressive ones, evens.
Minimal, I would say, even minimal brush strokes.
Exactly, and I mean that's his style. But coming back to the fair thing and collector versus the gallerist or art advisor type of view, of course, in my position, I'm going there and I want to see new positions that I haven't seen. I'm really excited about seeing new artists, maybe even meet them, speak to them. I'm very excited to see the presentations of the other galleries, small ones, mid-tier, big ones. You know, it's very inspirative for me. And and overall, as I used to live 35 years in Germany, so I know a lot of people. So I've met many people that I haven't seen for 6 years. Then you talk to them 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the day is gone. You know, so you know as it is. And in between, you really need to focus. Okay, where could be what's my business part here? You know, why am I here? That's pleasure, but on the other hand, it's also a part of business. You want to learn something, you want to achieve something, you want to come back to Bratislava and have maybe a full basket of new ideas, new contacts, or stuff like that.
Hello, welcome back to the Art Scene Unseen podcast. My name is Gabriel Brockman. I'm here with my good friend Patrik Steinhauser.
Howdy.
Howdy. It feels so good to be back in the space. The energy that we have when we have these discussions, it's when we first started having these off camera, it's like, this is why we're putting it on. And in that first season, as some of you may already know, hopefully you've watched our first season, but we've been to many amazing places. We've been to Zoya Museum, which is near Modra in Slovakia, kind of out in the countryside in the vineyards and things. We've been to the Danubiana Mullensteiner Museum twice, actually, and we're planning to go back to shoot inside as well. So
Zaha Hadid Towers in the
26th. Towers, to see about living with art. We've got we had such a fun time discussing all these topics, from protecting your arts, transporting your arts, just becoming a collector for the first time. How do you move your collection to the next level if you're already a collector? What does it mean to be a business collecting? Man, we covered everything.
And I hope we can dive deeper in this season.
I think we have this opportunity now that we've built up these episodes. We can go find really interesting spaces. New gallery names have been popping up.
Third partners that would like to join our discussion from their point of view.
I think we're going to try and have more third wheel, as
yes.
a plus one.
Yes.
In these talks, so we can really find out not just our perspective of the world, but there's some amazing people out there who are doing things in art education, like EduArt. This amazing woman, Barbara. She basically takes people and just sucks them into the art world in such a cool way. And she connects them with all these interesting places that you wouldn't get to otherwise. So EduArt.
We will have Vanessa Bersis from the main curator from Strabag in Vienna.
So cool.
Who's responsible for many different things there.
Talk about a business that Strabag is a construction company.
Exactly.
Basically. But they have one of the biggest collections.
A pretty big collection.
It's
several thousands of works, and they also support young artists. So every year they have this, call for artists from a special region and from different regions, and then they choose, a jury, not them, of course, a neutral jury chooses the winner, and the winners get an exhibition in Vienna in their spaces, and they buy their works, so they support financially with their foundation, and I think that's interesting to talk about.
We're seeing more of that.
Especially here in Slovakia.
Especially in the current climate,
Exactly.
Wouldn't be a podcast in Bratislava if we didn't mention the political
We need to
climate.
ask Vanessa how they did it, so we can probably somehow transform it here as well.
But we hinted at a bit of news. We promised a bit of news for Bratislava. For the first year ever, Bratislava is doing a gallery weekend in Old Town. I think there's been a couple of initiatives in the past. I know there was something in Petržalka. It was like an art walk. And then there's been a number of initiatives that have tried to kick off art fairs and weeks and things like that. But what we kind of were talking about was how do we get people circulating within these galleries, because we found out there's quite a few galleries in a very close proximity to one another. So we have
distance.
11 galleries participating, which I think is amazing for a first year.
Absolutely.
They're all commercial galleries. They're all here right within walking distance of one another. Sometimes I think we could even throw like a baseball to each other.
Jump from one window to another.
Yeah, exactly. There's Nico Bernath, which is just down in Groslingova, Weitenweiss. I don't want to name everybody, but and then just out the end of that way is .coma. So one street basically, and you've got four really like
Gandhi, not far away from there.
Gandhi is, I think, the oldest still operating gallery here in Bratislava. Zahori and Van Espen, they have a nice space just a little outside, but they also have a space here
in Carlton Hotel.
Carlton Hotel.
Umrian, which is the other way.
This cool little art street. It's next to the Edison Film Club.
Atelier 13, which is not far away from our gallery
which
here.
Is just down the street from Steinhauser here.
Fog
Gallery,
yes.
which is the
near
only
Carlton Hotel.
Focused gallery in the exhibition.
And sculptures, photography and sculptures, Dusan. Yeah, so what you say is correct. There is this advantage. Probably we did.
I feel like we missed somebody. We'll tag them in the comments, so we'll have the whole list there. So definitely check out GWB.SK.
Yes.
We're also trying to get GWB.SK to just kind of be a little more hip and a little more fresh.
But you named it. I mean, you said it correctly that everything is walking distance, and that's an advantage that I think not all the cities have. Obviously, the city center is not that big. We live in a 500, 600,000 citizen city, capital of Slovakia, of course. But it's not a huge. It's not Istanbul or Beijing or Tokyo, not at all.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, there is one station gallery that operates from a little bit far away, but they will come and
they're going to do a pop-up.
They're going to do a pop-up here.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly. So the advantage for the Slovak guests and people that will participate that are interested in contemporary art, and for the people abroad, they come from Vienna, from Budapest, from Prague, Brno, and so on, or further away.
We've been in touch with the entities that run gallery weekends.
Budapest, Vienna,
Prague,
Barcelona.
Yes. Barcelona as well. Barcelona is like not even our neighbor. Like it's, but when we told them, or when they found out we were doing this, they hopped on the phone with us. Like we had a conversation. They were super supportive.
Extremely.
Which is kind of nice, and hopefully in the future, like we can pay that forward as well. To develop not only circulating galleries within Bratislava, but also within Europe.
I mean, this can grow and this can interconnect. And the idea actually started when Nico Bernard came with his project Vunu from Košice to Bratislava, which is approximately 2 years ago, and we started. To chat about, we are the two guys that are not born here, that came from abroad, and we didn't know each other back then. And what can we do? And then immediately both of us had the same idea during that conversation, that we actually need to unify. We need to establish a platform where we can unify all these activities, like all the private players, actually, like all these galleries that do the private business. And it took a little bit. Then we thought that it's a great idea to have you as a director, to appointed you as a neutral person as well. And you now took over, speak to all the gallerists.
It's been also fun from my perspective as a collector and as an artist, that I get to make these connections with all these galleries that there are a few that I didn't know of before this. So. There's no real centralized database point of information for if I'm from Vienna, like I want to go to Bratislava to check out some art. I don't even know where to go. Like there's no calendar of events.
No platform, nothing.
No real platform, and that's what we're hoping that Gallery Weekend can be. Gallery Weekend Bratislava can be this kind of signpost.
Throughout the whole year, not only for the event in June, but
if you look
continue.
At Gallery Weekend Berlin, which I think is already
it's starting now.
They have posts year round.
Absolutely. 65,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, you if you want to gain that amount of interested people, then you have to do something.
I mean, you can't just do it like for one weekend and then expect people to come back and know you're going to.
And it's not productive. It wouldn't be productive for us and for Bratislava as well, and for all the galleries. I mean, so I think. Let's see how the first year will go. I hope for the best, and we prepare, hopefully, also for the best. What is very interesting is, and that's something that makes me very optimistic for the future is that once, and it was pretty late that we started to reach out to private companies, corporates, even collectors that have their own companies and would like to support. And all of them, unisono, were extremely interested in getting on board, especially for the next year, because this year was a little bit of, the time frame was a little bit, short for this. But the feedback was amazing, and it gives me like an optimistic outlook for Bratislava as a hub in the future, because this is what we, in the first episodes, in the first season, we were talking about. Exactly,
That, when there isn't support from social institutions, that private institutions need to step up.
Exactly.
And I think what we're finding is that they just didn't know where.
Yeah.
Or in what area to help.
Yes.
So we weren't asking the right questions, I guess, before, which I think is it's very uplifting. This idea that the support has come instantaneously. They're like, hey, we have this thing we're going to be doing. Do you want to be involved? And their answer is almost absolutely, like instantly. Yeah, I'm really interested. Maybe we can't help for tomorrow.
Yes.
But talk to us.
Yes.
In September, maybe we'll do something in September. So this idea that artists in these or gallerists in these galleries are kind of fighting. They're paddling really hard, trying to make ends meet. They're trying to get people interested in collecting art, trying to get people to buy art. Struggling with rising costs of rent and facilities and things like that, which is kind of what also collectors are struggling with. They're also struggling with rising costs and things like that. But we still as human beings need creativity in our lives. Otherwise, it's a life not lived. This a life without art, man, would be so dystopian. So. I don't know.
Especially in these times, I've been just to Venice last week with Bonnie, my wife, and we had the opening at the Palazzo Pisani Moretta, which got bought by Dries van Noten and this foundation, the very well-known designer from Belgium, from Antwerp 6, they call it.
The original.
And exactly, and the foundation and the team just magically brought up such a nice exhibition of more than 200 works, and I think 46, almost 50 artists, international artists.
Yeah.
And also, the headline goes like, the only true protest comes through beauty, something like that. I'm not telling it the right way, probably, but it was just an experience to be there, to open. We have Richard Stiepel with 2 commissioned works as Steinhauser Gallery in there, so it was absolutely pleasure to work with them, with Dries van Noten himself as well, and a milestone for us, for the artists, but also
it's
something
be fun.
It's a huge inspiration for us, really huge inspiration. And why am I saying this? Because exactly, protest through beauty, because we need that. We need, in these times, we need beauty, we need creativity, we need the feeling that we can create something out of small things or even nothing, and
not to get.
I hope it doesn't sound too pathetic.
Yeah, but, we don't tend to drift into the political too much, but I've been living here as an expat, and then watching things back home has been difficult. I'm originally from US, as probably everybody's figured out by now. But the most powerful moments that I saw were basically people just taking care of other people during these times of crisis, so everybody's out protesting this or that or whatever, And then there's a guy just handing out sandwiches. So simple. All it took is a loaf of bread, a couple of swipes with peanut butter and jelly and some cold cuts, and this connection that we create between people. It happens in these artworks, in these pieces. Like you said, Martin has left pieces of himself stuck in these stones. This piece actually is etched with acid. He pours acid in to get these shapes inside of this fig shape. So he's working with very harsh, caustic chemicals. He's working with hammers and chisels.
Very physical work.
And he's, your hands, after doing this for an hour, your hands have this vibration left in them. And then he puts them in this space, and you can walk around them, and there's a peace to it. There's a tranquility. There's the marble has this this translucence that other stones really don't. It's very grounding. Very if you give this time and you just sit with it, it will suck you in. And this you don't get if you don't change your environment.
Exactly. And it's very heavy, I can say, carrying it to the first floor. So that's another story.
There's an even larger one over here.
Over there.
It's what
600
kilograms. And this is the second floor. So trying to get it up the stairs with 8 guys and
6
guys, and but that's still 100 kilograms a person. But that's the point. If you don't change your environment, you don't grow. You don't create these connections. Your neurons in your brain are built on this. You get a stimuli. Your neuron fires, and then it creates this catalog of, okay, when I experience this, I fire this neuron, and I create this experience inside your head, and it's happening all the time. But if you're sitting and you're stagnant, your neurons don't fire. You don't create these connections, these possibilities. And this is kind of what I feel like was happening in Bratislava. And that's not to say that the art scene, there aren't amazing artists, there aren't amazing galleries. There are, and we saw that in season 1. But I think in this season, what I want to focus on is making sure that we make the rounds, that we get people moving between spaces.
There was a very famous quantum theorist that said he said we don't see through our eyes, we see with our legs. Because if you change your position, you change your perspective, and I think that sums it up pretty well, right?
Yeah. You have to move.
Yeah.
I was down a rabbit hole watching YouTube videos, and I stumbled on this agriculture video, self-sustaining agriculture, about pond agriculture. So basically growing food that you need from a pond. And the amount of protein and food that you can get from having a healthy pond per square meter is like one of the highest in terms of real estate per calorie. Because you have fish, you have ducks, you have eggs from the ducks, you have the watercress, all of the vegetation that grows in the pond, the algae, the things like that. Some of these are edible. And if you have a pond and it's still, there's no ducks, it dies. Because the muck, basically the shit on the bottom of the pond doesn't get stirred up, and it doesn't aerate, and it doesn't create life. And so if we don't have ducks swimming around in our pond, it kind of, you can have these isolated places of life, but they're not interconnected. They're not creating those connections.
Well, it's as you say correctly, and I think we had it also when we spoke to Nico. I mean, the whole gallery and art world circle is a very fragile ecosystem or genetic pool or whatever you will call it, and it's a good. This pond is a very good
and this ties
comparison
back to the frieze or to Biennale, where the art world for a moment kind of condenses in space.
In one space.
In space and time, and it becomes this place where you can start to make those connections. When you went back to Germany, you're like, and you're like, I want to connect with all these people that I haven't connected with, and it's like the day is gone. But it's
I have to fly back.
It certainly wasn't wasted.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, it stays with me and has some affection for the future, for this gallery and for myself as well.
Welcome everyone to the Art Seen Unseen podcast. My name is Gabriel Brockman. I'm here with Patrik Steinhauser. We're in the final segment of our first episode of the second season. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so sad it's already the last segment. I feel like we could talk for another 2 hours. But that's usually the case. And we just we bottle that up and save it for next time. We talked about our journey in the first season. We talked about events in the space. Art Basel is coming up. The Gallery Weekend Bratislava, which we're really excited about. It's the first year where Bratislava's private galleries are getting together for a unified event. There'll be several openings, plenty of commented tours, brunches in some of the galleries even. And we're hoping to see a lot of people from Bratislava circulating between galleries that maybe they've never seen before. And we've also got people coming from Prague. Barbara from EduArt is bringing a group here. We've got Vienna just across the river, just a short hop over. We've already been talking with the people who organize those events for Vienna Art Week. Barcelona even, like as far as maybe we'll have people from Barcelona. Who knows?
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, welcome.
We have international artists.
Yes.
We have Slovak artists. We have Czech artists. Everybody kind of has their own flavor, their own style. The galleries are all, I would say, quite unique, which is awesome. All 11 galleries kind of have their own identity, their own platform. And I think there's something for absolutely everyone in this art weekend. So it's the first weekend of June. I think we got all excited about it. We didn't mention when, but it's planned for the first weekend of June. So 5, 6, and 7 of June. So the weather should be pretty nice. Knock on wood. Whatever we need to do, throw something over our left shoulder. To make that happen, but we've got some backup umbrella plans if that fails. We also have we have a gallery participating that's going to actually bring their space closer. So they have a space outside in Petržalka, which is a bit far to walk to. So they're going to do a pop-up space here. And also Zahorian Van Espen, they have a space that's a little far outside of Bratislava, but they also have a space in the Carlton Hotel. So they'll be doing an exhibition opening there. Station Gallery will be coming in. And then we also talked about moving giant pieces of marble, 600 kilos. This one's not 600 kilos. This one's a little bit, and it's in 2 pieces.
You can
this one,
carry it with one hand.
Two people can carry each part of this.
Yes.
The logistics of moving art, we talked about in the previous season, of course, hiring, professionals and stuff like that. But there's also there was also an event that I'd like to ask you about. Edvard Munch was for the first time exhibited here in Bratislava in this gallery in the last with a duo exhibition with Richard Stiepel. So the first time, I think.
First time ever in Slovakia.
In Slovakia.
There was one exhibition in Czech Republic when he was still alive in 1905 in Manes Gallery, which is pretty amazing. And but Slovakia actually it was
so 1905 to
2026. Yeah,
it's not it's a little gap.
And we had 3 works from. One was from 1892, then the other one from 1895 and 1910. So, 2 unique works, handmade, 1 lithography. Yeah, it was interesting because these works came from private collections that we work with in Germany and in Switzerland. And obviously it's a process. It was a process and preparation for 2 years or even longer. Also with Richard Stiepel, because Richard, who is a sculptor who works mainly with wood, and it takes time. You know, it's a craftsmanship, handmade.
Well, his sculpture was, I don't know what the square meterage was, but basically it was the whole wall.
Yeah, it was like a 6 meter installation of, I don't know, I felt like 100 sculptures.
6 meter, like this way, and maybe 3 or 3.5 tall, maybe 4.
Yeah, for sure.
And just filled with all these heads and Richard Steeple has these very characterful faces, caricatures almost. But I always comment that each one of them kind of has a little bit of Steeple in them. Like his personality and his sense of humor always kind of translates into his work.
But you asked me about the logistics. Well, I can tell you. Basically, of course, the monks were with a special, transport.
So bonded transport.
Exactly. I mean, we had to get papers. I mean, it's a German collector. Obviously, Edward Munch was born in Norway, but there is this law in Germany that if the artwork is unique, so not a lithography but handmade, if it's older than 75 years, if it has a certain value above, and if it stays it was staying longer than 2 years in Germany, you have to get a permission from cultural. We call it a cultural department in Germany, which is an official request you have to do. So otherwise, even though we are in European Union and we cross only 2 European country borders, if they stop you and you don't have the paper, you are in big trouble.
Interpol is
exactly. So it's a legal act. You have to know it. You have to get it. Obviously, there is, 10 other documents that you need to get. I don't want to get too much into that. Insurance, of course. We had to, for the insurance company, we had to elevate the camera systems here and all these alarm systems. And so the gallery now is like Fort Knox when it comes to that level of Fort Knox, definitely.
You need more than a scooter and a ladder.
But can you imagine, like 1 month before the opening, how for the preparation? I was afraid that anything can happen because as these guys from the alarm from the company that installed the alarm, they said, Mr. Steinhauser, it's not going to be a random guy that is going to break in and steal the works. It's going to be some very professional people like Louvre. You remember in October how they broke in during the day just with a ladder
and a scooter.
2 minutes, bam, 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 and gone. So these people are prepared, and you cannot have 100% safety. It's not possible. But at least come very close to the 99%.
You can have the safety that's going to cover anybody who's not that super pro.
But pieces are all fine. They are back in the collections. Now they're communicated for something else.
So everybody was happy.
Everybody was happy. I'm happy.
Are you ready to do it again?
Yes, because we can. Now, after this first, trial
run.
Exactly. We know that there's plenty of other possibilities. We work with other collectors that have extremely nice pieces in their collections. And
it's kind of exciting to bring something like that into a commercial space, even though these works weren't commercially available. Maybe they were, but it's.
We don't speak about that, but you know that I'm in secondary market as well. So of course, I know the situations and
But to bring them into these spaces, to kind of elevate that a tier, the level of exhibition. Even so, we were talking about the spectacle of the thing. I think it is kind of a spectacle to come to Bratislava and see an Edvard Munch. I was with Vasilis, and I took him to Danubiana, and he was like, we were like, you need to go to Danubiana. And he was like, I don't know what to expect. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll go. It sounds fun. And he walked in, he was like, wait a second, like, He's like, Gabriel, this is an apfel. Like these are both apfels, and they're so big. These are huge. He's like, how are these so large?
Karel apple, you mean?
Yeah. He's like, I've never seen one this big.
Yes.
Let alone two of them this big on the same wall. And he was
Yes.
like freaking out because he studied Karel Apfel in
I didn't know
college.
that. Really?
Like, it was one of
Okay.
his idols. It was one of
Okay.
his. He wanted to emulate this quality of this abstract, abstract artwork. This cobra school.
So he was not expecting this in Slovakia?
He was totally blown away. He's like, Gabriel, this is a world-class institution. I had no idea this existed here. And this is exactly what we were saying in those episodes. You know, it's like, check, I told you.
So, and that's somebody that's here for the first time, who came here for the first time, and who is from Greece, who has studied in London, who's exhibiting frequently in Tokyo, now here in Steinhauser Gallery, lucky-wise, and he comes here and is absolutely amazed to see Danubiana Netbalka Gallery, which is across the corner, which is also an institution for modern Slovak art.
They have this collection of art that goes through the ages, Netbalka, and it's such a cool shot of Slovak history. You see where the political climate is with the kind of communist style, almost propaganda, rural, what do they call it? Rural beautification or rural, where they're basically trying to make urban life or rural life look more glamorous. You know? So you have the shots of the guys on the hill, you know, with the saw and the woman like, oh, you're so, and he's like very strong.
The hardworking,
and noble and nobilization of rural life. This was a propaganda tool, and artists were commissioned specifically for these types of artworks. And then you get into like a little bit crazier times, into the post-communism era, even, where you have kind of a little bit wilder things, you know. It's a very cool exhibition, and it kind of has this, I don't know, like a spiral or open
rondelle.
Column rondella going up. So he's like, this is amazing. Like, I had no idea. Like,
but
he'll be back.
we had it in the first season that. Also, from my experience, everybody that comes here for the first time from abroad and is interested and has the time to see and to to dive a little bit deeper into what's going on here is purely amazed. And I don't think that they even see the whole spectrum of things possible.
Oh, there's so many things we could talk about. I think we need to wrap up for this episode, though. I think this has been an amazing talk. I'm so excited to be starting season 2 of the Art Scene Unseen podcast. My name is Gabriel Brockman. This is Patrik Steinhauser. And behind the camera, we have Mark Bartovich. He's our producer. And without him, this wouldn't be a thing. So big thanks to him for making this happen. Thank you, Patrik, for joining me again on this journey. I think it's going to be very exciting. Like we said, we'll have many more guests. I think this season we had that trial run with Nico and had such a good time with that. I think it will be such a good time. So please join us for the rest of season 2. And if you haven't, check out season 1 already. Make sure you come first weekend in June, 5, 6, and 7 for Gallery Weekend Bratislava. The first one ever. You can say you were there for the first time. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.